Main character's cousin, who is my wifey, looks good in his older years. He aged like fine wine. He's a full on snack. He is a full on MILF. I am wanting to dive into this picture and marry him right at this moment. Like, he is absolutely gorgeous. Even when he's dying, he's absolutely beautiful. Like, I wanted to throw myself into his arms and drown with him. I wanted to shove the twins out of my way to get to him first. And then look at him right here, holding his baby, holding his child, and looking like a good, sweet mother. I need to dive into this picture, marry him, like I said prior, and keep on giving him children. I will father and sire as many children as he wants. He will never not be pregnant. Okay, he's the Omega who's never not pregnant, and I am the Alpha who doesn't know how to use birth control. That is the truth. Now, this was back in book 9. But when everyone finds out the relationship between the male lead and the main character and the rumors getting spread, and this is before the main character Zach was attacked, everyone's like, so the male lead is the top, right? And the main character is the bottom. And I'm laughing because it's just like in Remembrance of Filth. Anytime anyone finds out about the relationship between the main character and male lead, they assume the main character is the bottom and the male lead's the top. And so I just love that it shows up in Husky News by Cat Shizun too. There is a little of an issue of them being two men, but it's more like everyone has a problem with them being teacher and student than them being two men. They're like, wait, isn't he his teacher and isn't he this disciple? Like, that's a big no-no. Like, everyone's kind of disgusted and disappointed over this fact. They also are like, if he goes after one of his students, he must have gone after all of his students. Which honestly, I don't blame them for thinking that, because honestly, wouldn't we all be thinking that he'd been going after all of his students than just one of them? But just like in Heaven's Official Blessing and Grandmaster Demonic Convention, no one really cares that they're two men. They care about who those two men are. The extra in book 10 follows the cousin, and it's set in the modern time. He doesn't actually know the main character or the male lead in this extra, and he gets to know them throughout the extra. So he is assigned to turn the main character straight. So they need more of the main character's people, the White Moonlight's people, to help in the future to prevent a war between demons and humans, or specifically to have demons on their side to fight against the demons. I wasn't really sure about that part. I was confused. But they need him to turn the main character straight so he could reproduce children, instead of asking him to offer up his, genetics to produce children. They're going to turn this man straight against his will without him fully knowing or consenting to it. Obviously, our boy, he's against this. He's like, I'm not gonna do this. This is not okay. This is not right. We can't change someone's sexual orientations because we think we're gonna benefit from it. But he has no choice, so he ends up working with the little dragon thingy the male lead had throughout the series, but it's his partner in this story for this mission. And they go back in time to different time periods of the main character's life to try turning him straight. But each time fails because the male lead shows up and he ends up getting with the main character instead. They go back to when he was in preschool, they go back to when he was a kid, to when he's a teen. They also try to prevent the main character and male lead from meeting each other and try setting up with a girl that way, except the male lead and the main character still meet each other and still fall in love. So they fail, and they realize there's not much they can do because they start even going to different worlds and seeing if the alternation versions of the male lead and the main character get together, and they still do get together in alternate worlds. So they're like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. So they go to the cousin's bio dad, who was the one who assigned the cousin to the mission and didn't give the cousin any choice, no ifs or buts about it. They show him all the proof and evidence that no, they cannot turn him straight. And he tells them, okay, this mission is a failure. We're just not going to continue doing this. And the cousin's like, well, we can ask him for help instead of tricking him and, using him and trying to turn him straight. And he's like, yeah, no, just leave him alone. And I'm like, you could just ask for his DNA. You could just ask for his genetics, right? Like, that could have been what they could have done instead of doing this whole process of going to different time periods or different worlds to try turning this dude straight instead of just asking for his genetics. But that is not okay. Like, make that make sense to me. After being taken off the mission, the cousin is heading home and he ends up coming across the main character, Malid, arguing over what movie they should go see. Because the main character wants to see the movie of the title of our book. He wants to go see our book. And the male lead, because of the main character's history of picking movies, thinks it's a child's movie. It's a kid's movie or a rom-com, and he doesn't really want to go see that. Especially since the last movies they went to see were Teletubbies versus Voldemort and the Powerpuff Girls versus Captain America, which honestly, I kind of want to see those movies. That sounds like cool movies to go see. They sound fun. And he also brings up that the sequel to the Tubbies versus Voldemort is Sailor Hagrid. Okay, I need to see the Sailor Moon version of Hagrid. Okay, that would be so good. Right? Like, those sound like fun movies. And I just like how that's all brought up, and Star Wars is also brought up in this because back when he was in preschool, he was playing Star Wars and using a bunch of famous actors as his characters for his Star Wars game, and that's how he meets the Malid. Like, I love this. I love how different stuff is brought into the book, and he does end up convincing the Malid to go see the title of our book series. Times the main character would get injured during the whole going back in time thing, and the cousin wanted to help him, but the dragon thing refused to let him step in any at these moments because the girls needed to step in and help, or he got injured because of the situation, and stepping in might ruin the future of the possibility of him getting with a woman. And I'm like, it's not gonna happen. You just need to quit and help this child. But luckily, the male lead would step in and come and save the main character. Also, seeing the main character's life and seeing what kind of person the main character is, the cousin wants to be his friend. He's like, he got so many interests I'm into. I just love the way he acts and things he's into. Like, I need to become this dude's friend.